Welcome to this tutorial for Warlords Reformed. As the name says, it's a Warlord server to start, and it is also reformed, which means that there are mods and other changes, such as different maps like Virolati you can see here. In this short tutorial, we'll look at Warlords, how it works itself, at the various mods, and the must-know things. First of all, you must know that this is my modified mission. It's it's not going to be 125 CP on the server. It's just for testing purposes. You won't start with 5 million CPs either. Anyway, as you saw here, I first voted for a sector which was directly connected to my base. And this is how warlords work for attacking sectors. This map has a particularity, is that you have on this side two of those C-130, which will be useful for the start of the game, as you will be able to go to them and from inside them get some equipment. As you can see, there is the M249, M4, CTRG stealth uniforms, health kits, ghillies, and other nice things to have, as well as UAVs. Once you have your equipment, and for example move the aircraft back there, you will then most likely go to strategy and fast travel to contested sector. As you can see here, there are no exclamation marks, because there are no enemies, it's safe to move there. And as you will see, if I arrive there, everything is fine. You can then also fast travel to seized sectors. After that, it will be infantry fight to kill everyone in this sector, to then capture it. Now I will quickly show you what happens if there are actually enemies near the sector you want to move to, or the friendly sector you want to fast travel to. You see, we'll head here, find the respawn point we had, should be around here, and place down some up for things, such as an infantry squad. And now that there are enemies out there, you can see 3 exclamation mark. If you see that, you should not fast travel unless you know what you're doing, as I will demonstrate here. I fast travel and get shot at immediately. As you can see here, I'm still alive, and I'm dead. 3 exclamation mark means that you'll most likely be within sight of the enemy, and can be killed with ease. The other warlords thing to know is that all sectors have a size. As you can see here, this is a medium-sized sector, this is a small one, this is a big one. They have CPs per minute. Here it should be 25, 25, this one gives a lot more, as it's a big town. And they also have other traits, such as having an airfield, an airbase, helipads, or a port, which will be required to order respectively the helicopters, which will land at sectors with the helipad sign, to order aircraft, which will land only at sectors with the airpad sign. For example, here we can order this aircraft, which will land with a pilot on the runway. And finally, to order boat, you also need such sectors, but the boats can be put anywhere you want, including all the way there, to make it easier in case the sector is not directly connected to water. So those are the basics for warlords. In the early game, you will most likely just fast travel to contested sector. Later, you can order yourself some infantry, which will be under your orders, to hornet sectors or to your position. You have here a list of various vehicles, which can also be used. You have under strategy the ability to unlock and lock your vehicles remotely, and to transfer CPs to other people, and other useful things in the early game, weapons crates. And for the end game, defensive things, here. Now that we looked at the warlords basic, I'm going to show you a bit more about the RHS mod, as it is the main mod for vehicles here. And there are quite a few things that you should know. For example, if we take some of the vehicles, it is best to know how to actually use the various scopes they can have. Let's see, for example, we can take this vehicle here, move it there, quickly remove the crew so we can have a seat in the gunner seat. Another thing you may notice is that this doesn't actually exactly work, but that's a detail. You won't beat this on the server anyway. Now, if I do get in this vehicle as the gunner, pressing N will not change it to night vision, nor to thermal mode. For that, with RHS, you will most likely have to zoom in and zoom out, which will allow you to reach the different vision modes, and sometimes screens too, for some vehicles. Such as the Striker, for example, in which you will have very, very bad sight unless you use the zoom in, zoom out thing to get through the various visions. Another thing to note is that if, for example, you're facing a T-72, which is an up-for tank, you will want to kill it, for sure. And as it can be very annoying to kill, I'm going to show you where to hit it. See, for example, we can have a T-72 here, which we're going to quickly remove the crew from before they kill us. We can then have here one of our main tanks. Let's say M1, A1, Tusk 1. Oh, let's get this one. Remote control. And the target you want to have, where you want to hit the T-72, is right there on the side, 90 degrees, if you can. As this will most likely, if you do land a good hit, be able to kill the tank in one shot. Do note that this tank may take a while to explode, as you saw here. Delayed explosions is also a thing in RHS. And you may have very bad experience if you shoot it from the front, as even though you'd be able to disable it, it wouldn't exactly kill it in a normal amount of shells. Another thing to note about the RHS vehicle, such as for the aircrafts, is that not all of them have the warnings for ear-guided missiles. So you'll have to look around and make sure to use those shafts yourself without having the game tell you what to do. Now on to the next part. We'll take a look at the boats, which are from the Hellenic Armed Forces mode. So I'm going to teleport out there, which did work except that I wasn't Zeus. Sorry about that. And now if I do spawn a boat, using Zeus again, here. Wrong direction. For example, you may have to face some missile boats, Russian-class missile boats, as you can see right there. And I'm going to show you one of the best tools to kill it, the BMP-2. This will be a very quick demonstration. But what you have to know is that the boat is vulnerable to high explosives. Do not try killing a boat using other things, such as AP, as it will take way too much time. The boat itself also only has high explosive rounds, which does make it less of a threat. As you can see here, this is AP. It will not hurt the boat. If I switch to high explosives, the boat is already dead. It just doesn't know it yet. There. This also works for the high explosive of anti-air vehicle, and if you have enough of them, high explosive shells of the tanks. The high explosive and such things of aircraft do also a great job against those boats. The missile boat I show right there has, as it demonstrated, a front cannon. It also has a rear cannon, and it had, well, this one doesn't have it anymore, but it also has some decent anti-air, which is radar guided. Welcome to the difference between radar guided and air guided very soon. Now that we've seen the boat mods, HIFM, and how to kill them, we'll move on to the jets, which are now a very important part of the game. As you can see, I here have a jet, which has the default loadout to start. Now I can get some other jets, such as the A-10C, which can be a very strong tool for the Blue 4 forces, quickly removing the pilot. In the defense side, you will see that you can order yourself... Stop moving. You can order yourself some missile cart, missile carrier for rearming, which will be used to activate the AMS. The AMS being the kind of maintenance tool, which you can access when your engine is stopped and when you're on the ground. Now let's take a look at this wipeout loadout, for example. As you can see, 2 anti-air missiles on one side, then there is that weird thing, then macer and bombs, the usual. The weird thing you see there is the targeting pod, which is going to be very useful for you. And the weird thing on the other side, that's the ECM pod, which you will need to efficiently use your wipeout, as it will jam radar-guided missiles. So here, as you can see, we have the cannon, we have the side with the sidewinders, and here is the important part. You could decide, for example, to sacrifice your countermeasures to get some anti-aircraft defenses. You can have here different ammunition with different laser guidance, air guidance and such. And in the case of the wipeout, you here have the lightning pod and sniper XR pod. For now, let's not equip them and show you what happens. Or first, let's show you here, for example, you have the eye targeting system for the GPS based things. If I turn off the engine, do not equip the thing, and as you can see here, you can apply the loadout you have here, or if you want, you can name it here, for example, preset 1, add presets, and it will be saved here to be applied. Or you can update it by, for example, editing here and changing. But, as I wanted to say, now that we don't have the targeting pod, on the wipeout we also lose the eye targeting system. Which means that depending on the weapon you want to use, you'll want to have the correct loadout on your aircraft. And that was for the firewheel mode. Which closes our tutorial. We've seen the boats, how to kill them with high explosive, the aircraft. With quick word here, some of them are from Firewheel, which will have VAMS. Some others, such as the F-22 for the blue team, will not have it. And to note that none of the helicopters have the AMS things here. On the upper side, only the GRAR, Su-25 GRAR, and the Tomcat will have AMS. And this covers everything for now. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, I hope you'll have fun on the server, and I can't wait to shoot at you. See ya!